Hey, you okay? You okay? He's not very talkative. I'll just leave him be. So, we have an issue. I'll flip the camera and you can see what I'm talking about. So, the issue I have, as you can see, we've got the disc vine header. Brilliant machine. Double drive, so pumps at both sides, feeds from both sides of the main pump on this. So this thing can eat a lot of stuff. It can rip. This will go as fast as you can stay in the seat. What happened was, cutting field way over there, and there's some just right there by the John Deere. I'm pointing the right way, right there. Some cut there. But as I got to the end of the first 100 acres, this thing was laboring really badly. And then you'd switch it off for a few minutes, start it back up, and off you'd go. Great. And then it would start to labor. So I thought, oh, maybe I got some bad mojo in the fuel. So changed the fuel filters. I did all the filters at once anyway, because it's best just to do that. You can keep track of it. Normally it's every 200 hours, but so I changed the filters and thought, great. So checked the oil levels, put them back together. Brand new air filters in here too, which normally I clean them for a while and then I'll change them, but I just changed them too. So figured I would give it a test run, so I was cutting the weeds around here, and lo and behold, started doing it again. Started laboring. So really tearing my hair out. So talking to a friend at up at the Mazer dealership, because it's best to talk directly to people who actually know what they're talking about. It's a Tim McWhirter, awesome guy, lives at Lenore, just down near here. Guy knows his stuff. So I texted him and said, Tim, is there any chance that there's a screen in the bottom of the fuel tank that's plugged? Because it seems like it's starving. It's starving for fuel. Because when it gets really bad, I come out here, I turn the tap open, and it sucks air in before it lets the fluid out. You just see that bad. But I said it really seems like fuel starvation. Like I said it's not the filters, it's not creating vacuum between the filters. The lines, as far as I know, they're not pinched, anything like that. So, turns out, because this motor is used in tractors as well, it's just blue when it's in a tractor. See, it's a 6-cylinder. As you can see, injector. There's the injector pump. Turns out, he said, there's a little issue. Because here's a sediment bowl, so you get dirt and stuff in the bottom here, you have to clean that out. It's a sensor, pickup wire. Apparently this is an issue. This horizontal pipe here. Because I think that's a back feed. But this one here, apparently, what happens is fuel sits in here, and eventually you get a little dirt bank of sediment in this pipe, and it can eventually get plugged. And then your engine's pulling from this side, your pump here is trying to push it, and yeah, next thing you get like a what do you call that, negative, like a vacuum, a negative pressure. So that's why this guy's really starving and this one isn't. So I'm going to take this apart, and hopefully that's the issue, because if not, I've got bigger problems. Yeah, shut up, I know that's what you all say. So, oops, I see a little wet here. So, this came off, there was nothing in it, cleaned it all up. Take this all off, cleaned this all up, cleaned all of these parts. I had to put a new solenoid, well, it's the top part of the solenoid that actuates in here. I got a new one of those because I thought that's what the problem was. It wasn't. Yeah, you can see all this because I had to take these out of the way to get the wrench in here to undo this and do it back up. But anyway, so that didn't fix it. So then I ended up taking, because this is the fuel pump, I ended up taking this pipe off. It goes, where is it? There. You can see that? Oh, you can't really see it. Anyway, it goes up in where I can't even see it. There. So, okay, where are you? There. So, I dropped all the fuel out of the tank, which was more than half full. It took me 3 hours to empty that down through this skinny hose to check to see if the tank was plugged. So there's no screen in the tank. Nobody could tell me that. It's not in the plans, it's not in the schematics. It doesn't tell you definitively. There's no screen in that tank. So the little petcock at the bottom, it's clear. There's nothing in it, it's clean as a whistle. So, Paper Dog, what was wrong with it? After all that, it was the hose. The hose down there, because it gravity feeds out the tank. So when the tank was getting lower, and the pump was pulling fuel, from the tank, the hose, because it was older, was collapsing. It like delaminated inside, and it was collapsing. So as it would get lower at that end, and the pump would pull harder, and usually it would, when this is warm, the hose would start to collapse, and that would stop the fuel. So, if you have one of these HWs, not just the 340, there's 300s, 325s, 4, yeah, change the hose first. It's cheap. A lot cheaper than what I went through. So, right now, I'm doing this. What happened? Well, I was cutting hay, and the header quit, ground to a halt, and I thought, oh, I'll get something stuck in it. Well, no. The bearing's gone out of the end of the auger. The auger, which is that big coily-woily guy that puts the stuff up and into the crimper. So the bearing went out, bearing race went out, the chain that goes around the big sprocket, which is, where is it? There's a new chain. The chain that goes around this sprocket, the old chain jumped off and broke at the time. So the bearing's gone, the bearing race is gone, chain broke. As you can see, all the damage from the chain and jumping. And then the tensioner, there's a spring that goes to this guy, it broke, it has disappeared. So there's bearing, race, chain, spring on the tensioner. So that all packed up. So then this happened. Yeah, that's missing, which is laying right here. So that stopped so dead. Meanwhile, this is still driving. Spun it. So the universal spider in the middle actually broke one of the legs clean off, and broke one of the arms off of the yoke clean off as well. So yeah, productive. So then when I was lifting the header up and trying to figure out to get all the parts off of it, that started squealing. Turns out, fan belt tensioner had gone. Bearings had packed up, pulley had seized, and it was burning the belt. So, new belt, new tensioner pulley. They were supposed to have sent me new universal and yoke. Somebody went and got me the package, so I didn't know what was all in here. I got the yoke, no universal. So I just went and picked up a new chain at the local hardware place. I got bearings, I got a new bracket for a spotlight on the loader tractor that I broke. So, here's the race, which is the hanger part, the bearing hanger, we call them races, whatever. New spring, the tensioner, and new bearings. So yeah, I'm going to get on with that. Apparently they have the universal for this, so mechanic's bringing it down, so I can get this all back together, because I have a little bit of hay still to cut. Not a lot, but still a little bit. So yeah, drama. You're keeping an eye on me. I see you up there. Okay, so we're back at this. It is 34 degrees right now. The humidex is 40, what did they say it was, 46? 45 degrees. So yeah, finally putting this back together. Work smarter, not harder. Makeshift tent. Getting out of the sun. So yeah, new universal. So yeah, you see, it's all new. So they don't make those ones anymore. So I had to get both new ones. So it comes in a kit. So I have that one that was here left as a spare. So whatever. Where are we going? New chain. New spring. We got the new bearing and race all down in there. I don't have time to fix all that damage in there, but it doesn't matter right now. It's not harming nothing. So this is all back together. So now just put the bodywork, put all the wires, because there's a header speed sensor in here, so I got to put all that back together. Either or just leave that off and get at it, because I need to get this done, so then I can get that header on. But apparently there's a chance of another storm and another tornado. Yeah, keeping an eye. That's the one thing, you can usually see the stacks growing fairly easily here. Yeah, nothing much. Anyway, bring it back when she's done. Fire it up, ready to go. There you have her. She's done. All back together. Yeah, what an ordeal. One little thing caused a whole chain reaction of tomfoolery and chip crappery, and this has been an episode of Piper Doggone How to Go Bankrupt Farming. So yeah, she's ready to rock and roll. Just knocked all the crud out, put brand new set of blades in. And for those of you that swear by hay binds versus disc binds, these are cheaper than the sickles. Never mind the guards on a hay bind. And the gearboxes and drives, they're the same age as the header. Oil is checked, universals are greased, everything that can be checked is checked on a regular basis. Make sure your turtles are all nice and tight, your splines don't get loose, because that's how they wear out. And yeah, that fuel hose, that's your first check. So I'm going to go finish cutting the last of my first cut hay in the middle of August, and then it's that guy's time. Oh, feels like I just took it off. Oh yeah, I did actually just take it off. I was swathing with it this spring. So, happy place. See you the next time. Oh yeah, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, tell your friends. There's a crazy Scottish guy here in Manitoba filming stuff randomly. Cheers!